Alright, we've taken care of all of the Mavericks. That's the last of them. One whole episode ago. Anyway, got anything new for us, Dr. Kane? In your locked room that you cannot leave. Probably so he doesn't explode again. Secret project? Well, it's rude of you to peep on it then. Oh, not a battle body. I hate it when people make themselves battle bodies. And it's got so much combat data too, it'll be unstoppable.
A battle body? You mean a body specifically made for battle?
Oh yeah. Anyway, you might think Dr. Doppler's making himself the battle body, however, he can't use it. What an idiot.
Who could this someone else be? Oh, okay, X already knows, right? Yeah, okay, cool. I don't have to play coy then, we're all on the same page, it's Sigma, we all know this. Alright, well, investigate should be in quotes considering, you know, X and Zero's usual line of work. Yep, you'll put an end to Sigma for good. There were only ever 3 X games. Definitely. So, after you're done with all the Mavericks, the ground just opens up and there's Dr. Doppler's lab. Look, you might think we're at an advantage now, however, he really needed to breathe. It wasn't actually good for him to bury himself beneath the earth. Alright, so it is time for Doppler Stage 1. Now, the thing that's neat about X3. Now, much like X2, the way it varies is not as extensive or quite as interesting as X1. But that doesn't mean there is nothing that changes between playthroughs depending on what you do, and I think that this turns out way better than X2 does, and somebody's trying to crush me. You know, back in the day they had like a robot pulling these things together. Now they're just automated. I mean, yeah, it's a more efficient death machine, but it just feels so much less personal, you know? But anyway, yeah, things do change between playthroughs. Not this, however. Unfortunately, no matter what you do, you must fight Rex 2000. Great name, terrible boss. So Zero, or if you're playing as Zero in this hack X, will say he stops the collapsing ceiling, and I guess he does in theory, but it still comes down. It doesn't stop completely. I think it just doesn't kill you like it would if Zero died and you could never use him again, so good news about this hack is it's basically impossible to not have some kind of support against this boss. The bad news is, good god, this one sucks. Like, yeah, because that ceiling is coming down, it gets to the point where it is basically impossible to dodge his stupid projectiles. I hate him so much. There's an army of powerful Mavericks in Dr. Doppler's lab. Alright, they've been modified into war machines, but do they have bodies specific for battle? That's the real question. Alright, he's gonna scout around. Don't worry, Zero, I'll play as you later. Alright, so continuing on. We're not going to see too many of the differences between playthroughs, but at the very least, they're more distinct and not quite as negligible as some of X2's. I guess there was one in the stages that was destroying the crates in the one stage, but that one also feels kinda meh. Alright, next off, we've got the H armor, which is Hawk armor. This one can glide a little bit, and it's got missiles. It's okay. Alright, so since we're here and not finding any of the things that change between playthroughs, I'd just like to mention real quick, I really enjoy this hack. Oh, actually we do have one thing. So, down here, if you have full health and full sub-tanks and just everything else in general, you will find the pink capsule. This one enhances all our parts, that's right. All 4 of the chips that I mentioned in the cleanup episode are now yours to use in one package, provided you did not pick up any of the individual ones. That's the only other thing. When I say you should have everything before finding this capsule, I do mean everything except those specific parts. That is why I've been warning you against collecting the individual chips, because as long as you're good enough to get here with full health and sub-tanks, you just get all of them, and you can just curb stomp the rest of the game. So X gets a fancy new set of armor for having this set of chips. He now has this really nice orange and yellow outfit. I kinda like this one. I don't know, it's just kind of a good look for him. I know blue's the classic, but I really like this color scheme. Weirdly enough, I realized at one point, one of the reasons I might like that armor is because, it reminds me of, like, my favorite, generic NetNavi design from the Battle Network series. I just really like that one. Anyway, bottom door over here. If you have not killed both Bit and Byte, you'll actually have to use a door above this one. You'll have to head up first if you want to fight the boss. However, if you did not permanently kill off one or both of them, they battle you at the same time, in a new form. That form being the God Car Machine Inary. And that, of course, is Car Machine spelled like karma. Alright, so yeah, biggest problem with this fight is there's really not a lot of room to move, but his attacks aren't otherwise too bad. If you had most of the room to move, this would be a joke of a fight, so that's why he takes up half of it. But yeah, no, he'll try to grab you. There's that, and then he'll try to bring out his sword, slash you with beams. You dodge it the same way every time, and then you kill him. Ray Splasher is his only weakness. Cool design, fantastic name, but pretty easy boss. Again, learning this guy's a pain in the ass because you don't have a lot of room to actually move around and experiment with the attacks, but when you're used to them, it's really not a problem. So, when we save, we see that not only do we have the armor saved, or X's armor rather, Zero also has a fancy new set of armor. So, Black Suit Zero is actually a pretty common alternate costume for Zero in the series, so this hack introducing this as Zero's version of the ultimate upgrade is pretty clever. I think that's cute. I really appreciate that one, actually. So, next difference in stages. If you did not permanently kill Vile, then not only will the boss of this stage change, this stage would not look beaten to shit, so, just saying it ahead of time, but yeah, because Vile's alive, he has been on a rampage, and I kind of love that this is his mark. Like, you just have to be reminded that Vile fucking sucks, and even though he's working for Doppler, for whatever reason, he's decided he needs target practice, and the rest of the base is just what he's practicing on. Anyway, here's the last armor. It's kangaroo armor. No jets, but the jump is pretty good, and it does punches. Alright, that's kangaroo armor. There's a reason I really did not use that one that much. Is this the boring platforming segment? It might be. Oh no, this is where a mini-boss would be, except it's not. Vile has to be permanently dead in order for the mini-boss to appear here, and there's actually a pretty significant chain of events. In fact, you may already know about that, if you've played this game before, seen it. It's one of the things most players will do. It involves that mini-boss, but I genuinely think it's more interesting to keep Vile alive for this stage, so that's my canon run. Honestly, I feel like the canon for Vile being dead and having to fight that mini-boss is kind of dubious, but whatever. Anyway, this platforming segment is so fucking slow. Why is this a thing? Why am I climbing the walls on a snail? Who thought this would be fun and/or interesting? Anyway, don't hit the walls or you're dead. Don't fall down or you have to redo this again. So while we're doing this garbage, I'm gonna talk about the hack in general. I really truly love this hack. I would be moaning about this game a lot more if this hack did not exist and I weren't playing it. Honestly, like, I think one of the things about a good hack is, of course, just the general quality in of itself is important, sure, but I feel like the attitude of the person going in also kind of has to be pretty good. Generally, I never really think much of hacks from people who are like, I'm fixing the game. Even if things could genuinely be called improvements, like this game absolutely makes it better to play, the fact that it's not kind of got a smug overtone to it, I think is part of the reason why I like this one so much. There is genuine passion here. I don't know what the author thinks of the game, the base game, but they seem like they are pretty chill about making it a better experience. Alright, so enough of that though, I'll talk more about that later. Vile Mark II. So, he has new Goliath armor. So, it's bigger, it's faster, it's stronger too, but it's still not invincible like it was in X1, so I'm not too afraid. So once again, much like his original incarnation, Ray Splasher and Spinning Blade are his weaknesses. I forget if I mentioned that, I think I did eventually, but it's the same thing here. Both forms are weak to the same weapons. Oh no, I accidentally spoiled that we're gonna blow up his armor and have to fight him, whoops. Oh well. Anyway, his armor isn't too bad, you just have to pay attention to his tells. He's got very large attacks, they might seem overwhelming, but they're pretty easy. Again, when you know his tells, they're pretty obvious and, well, mostly easy to time, except he almost got me there, because he changed the timing of his shot to be much slower, in hopes that I'd just foolishly run into it, and again, I very nearly did. Other than that, yeah, you can do that whole thing. I'm just going to shoot you, I don't care. Alright, second form. Once again, he's lost his armor. We've got plenty of room to move around, but I wouldn't move too far away from Vile just so you know what he's doing at any and all times. Plus, if I remember correctly, his jumps are a lot faster if he has to go from one end of the field to the other, just as kind of a punishment for trying to get so much distance from him. But yeah, no, maintaining how you dodge is important, and you need to see what he's actually doing. Even if he is very patterned, it's helpful to just actually see how his attacks are coming out in order to actually effectively dodge them, and as long as you do that, you should be fine. No, I'm pretty sure I've won Vile. I will haunt you to the day you die. And then he just fast motions face plants into the ground. I think that would be funny. I do love that detail though, just as he's dying they slow down the text speed. He's just fighting to make sure he threatens us before he goes. He's very dedicated to being the worst, that Vile. Guess that's why I got his name. Gee, I'd never figured it out. Vile stands for the fact that he fucking sucks. And Mark II means Mark II. Alright, so save the old game, and next time on Mega Man X3, we finish the game. So let's take on Dr. Doppler and Sigma. That's right, I can say Sigma because we all know it's him. Even the characters. No dramatic irony here.